Hey there, fellow Factorians. Onerous here with another episode of Bob's and Angels Seablock, and our landfill is running out, so that's kind of a bit of a focus at the moment. But also materials. We've got to have materials because we want to start building stuff. But I'm getting lots of comments. I love the comments, and so some really good questions being asked. So I'm just going to go through a couple of the big ones. The first one is boilers. So Power and Laruko, and also huge thank you to Laruko for joining my Patreon page. Just big thumbs up for that one. Thank you a ton. But yes, so Laruko and Power had a bit of a discussion in the last episode's comments about the boiler, and in particular, it's the boiler versus the wind turbines. And as you can see from our power graph, we're using 1.2 megawatts, and you can see we're using so this is the issue. According to our power graph, we're using 100% of the wind turbine output and only a small amount of the boiler, so of the steam engines. So the question was whether the steam engine is just constantly consuming the charcoal, and I had in the comments, I had 20 megawatts as the megajoules as the value of charcoal. However, it's actually only 4 megajoules, because the 20 megajoules was the 5 that we get per every production out here. So we get 5 charcoal for every 2 whatever it was wood bricks. So 4 megajoules of charcoal. If we're using 400 kilowatts, 4 megajoules will last for 10 seconds. And we're seeing that's probably about 10 seconds. So we are only producing this amount from the boiler. We're not producing the max, 1800 kilowatts? Yeah. So the power output of these is combined about 400 kilowatts. And that means that one bit of charcoal burns in 10 seconds. So I think that does mean that we are prioritising the windmills. So the wind generation is always the first thing to be used. So if we pull this boiler out, we're actually going to have not enough power to run everything. And in fact, we can see that by disconnecting the water. And when the water runs out, the steam will run out. And when the steam runs out, the power runs out, yada, yada, yada. There's a little bit of a backlog of steam, of course. We'll wait. We'll wait on that one. It is still not dropping. There we go. It's starting to drop now. Eventually that will use up, and obviously the 200 steam is for 900 kilowatts output, so it takes a bit of time. I could speed things up, but we're mathing. We're doing this for science. And we should see already. There we go, our boilers are dropping, and our satisfaction is way down. So, long answer to a quick question, why are we running boilers? We're running boilers because we need them, and the boilers are only producing the power on top of the wind turbines. Alright, so that was the first question. The second one was from Daniel Everett, and two things he brought up. The first one was the washing. Washing is a way to get some good landfill. So we can get dry dirt from mud. Okay, this is interesting. We get dirt from mud. All right, that's pretty good. So that's just more landfill, and we get mud from viscous mud water produces from mud and water, but the process is it's seawater that turns into is it seawater? Or I think we get viscous mud water out of the Seafloor Pump. Here we go. Yeah, Seafloor Pump provides mud water, and that produces mud and water. Okay. Heavy mud water produces viscous mud water. It's this whole chain here, and we do actually need to run it, we need a few washing plants. So you need a washing plant to go from saline to thin mud, from light mud to thin mud, maybe not saline, concentrated to light, and heavy to concentrated, viscous to heavy. Oh yeah, it's a little bit, probably a little bit power intensive for where we're at the moment, because each of these uses 100 kilowatts, and I think from the memory of my BA run, I think I had four in a chain that then fed on itself. But we would then be using the mud instead of feeding the mud all the way back into the top. Although we could clarify, that's interesting. Let's do that. I still want to get. Was that 50? This is 20. All right, let's pop it in front of the arboretums. I think that's arboretums are probably not a high priority, but I really want to get those inserters configuring properly. So the other thing that Daniel Everett pointed out, so apart from the washing to mud, was the ratio of our algae farms to our charcoal. So if we step this one back, this is going to be a lot of math, and honestly, I'm doing it on camera. I haven't checked it, so it's probably going to be wrong. But if we want to make one charcoal, so we're aiming for one charcoal, we need 1/5 of a wood brick, which means we need 2/5 of a wood pellet, which means we need 2/5 of 6 cellulose, 2/5 of 6. That's a little annoying, isn't it? Which is 12/5, and to make one cellulose, we need 12/5, and we need 2 algae for one, so that's 24/5. So that's, say, 5 algae. 24 on 5, not quite 5. It's very close to 5. So 5 algae produces 1 charcoal. All right, that's good. Now 1 charcoal. So actually, probably should have started with 5, shouldn't we? But anyway, so 5 algae for 5 charcoal. So 25 algae is 5 algae for 1 charcoal. So 25 algae for 5 charcoal. It's actually 24, isn't it? The math. So 24 in this time, which is 3.5 seconds. Can we produce 24 in 3.5 seconds? What is this producing? This is 25 in 30 seconds. So if we actually wanted to max out the speed of charcoal, we would need 30 divided by 3.5, so say 10, 8-ish, something like 8. 8 of these to produce enough charcoal. And that would then produce the charcoal we need. But if we go back to our boiler and say a boiler is running 1.8 megawatts, so 4 megajoules would take about 20 seconds to burn. 10 seconds would be 400 kil. Yeah, so about it's 1.8 megawatts. Sorry, so 4 megajoules is 2 seconds worth of energy. Oh man, so every 2 seconds you need to be producing a charcoal to support a boiler. We're deep in the math now. So every 2 seconds you need to produce a charcoal. So every 2 seconds you would need to produce 24 on 5. We said 5 green algae every 2 seconds. So this produces 5 algae every 6 seconds. So 3 of these supports enough charcoal to run 1 boiler. I think Daniel, from his empirical study, said about 4. But yeah, so the math says if we want to support this 1 boiler with charcoal at max output I should say, because we're not outputting anywhere near as much as max, 400 out of 1.8 megawatts. you would need 3 of these. Given that we're only running this at less than a third, 1 is actually enough to give our current power supply. But we are not going to have enough to expand any further than our power. So this is a bit of a priority. Now that's a lot of talking, and we're already 10 minutes in. We're 10 minutes in. We've mathed up a lot. Let's put in a little bit of this stuff here so we can get our science back up and running. Because currently nothing is happening because we're out of copper. But copper is the problem. All right. Where we were at last episode was expanding into the 4th electrolyzer that can support the slag. And we're going to have to kind of rejig this whole arrangement a little bit to do that. We do have 74 landfill, which is nice. But I really want this to be here. Really want this to be here. All right. So we are going to have to pull all this out and figure out a slightly better arrangement. And when I pull this one out, what I'm going to do is let's upgrade our boilers to even better crushers. All right. So we might as well. The crystallizer is not going to get upgraded, but it probably will have to get moved. All right. We'll upgrade those other two crushers as well. 2 more of them. Yep. Okay. So you, my friend, can disappear as well, and we've got to try and be a little bit more space efficient, so that our lack of landfill is less of an issue, and maybe it's worthwhile actually getting washing happening straight away, and then moving into inserters. Why are we not getting long inserters and arboretums? Okay, maybe this is a smarter idea. Maybe not. Who knows? Okay, there is our 4th one of these, and the interesting thing is we can probably actually support even more now. All right. We can probably support even more now that we've got the faster inserter, the faster. There we go. The faster ore crushers, because these ones actually have a crafting speed of 1.5. So we can actually support 6 of these now. But here we are. All right. And we need to get some water in here as well. So let's do that over here. And then if we need to put another one in at some point, we can do that. All right, we don't have the diagonals yet to be able to do something tricky with that. So now we have what do we say? 4 a second. 4 a second slag. 1 a second. 4 of these produces 1 a second slag. And that is going into our ore crusher. And you are making crushed stone. And that crushed stone needs to go into our liquefier. Crushed stone needs to go into our liquefier, which we can do like that. And pick it up from here. Go, you little beautiful inserters. Okay. And then this now needs to go there. Alright. You're doing that. So there's our crushed stone going in there. But we also want our crushed stone to be going into one of these. Like that. You have to go from that way. And you need to be making landfill from crushed stone. Alright. And then we'll have that going into a box in a very, very tight arrangement like that. Picking up from there. Alright, so now we need our mineralized water goes into a clarifier. Mineralized water goes into a clarifier. And where am I going to put this clarifier? I'm actually going to put it over here. I'm going to put it over here. Alright, that's where I'm going to put it. So we need to actually get rid of a bunch of these. And I want to put it over here so that we have room to put in our crushers. Room for our crushers. And they need to feed back into some other things. Alright. Okay, this should work. This should work. Okay. Let's get some of this in there. You'll do that. You'll do that. You, my friend, are making whatever you can. All right, we're getting more aligned on charcoal for every one of these that I remove, but we can put them back. We can put them back. All right. So then we have 2 crushers now. 2 crushers, like 2 crushers, kind of like this. All right, one's crushing saphirite, one's crushing stereotype. They take out of here. These are electric ones now, meaning they need to be powered up. I want these to go into a belt. I want these to go into a belt. Both of them onto a belt. All right, and then we do one of these. Whoops. One of these goes here, and from this one we'll have we'll output priority to the right, crushed saphirite. We'll have another one here that is output priority right, crushed stereotype. So these guys will do that, and you know what? We can actually we can make this a little bit tighter. No, there's probably no need. Probably no need. All right, and then all that's left after that is crushed rock, which will feed back into here. And if that backs up, what happens? Okay, it'd be nice to also feed it into there, but I think that's a pipe dream at this point. Alright, so what's going on here? You're working, a little bit of this is working. This could back up, but I don't think it will. Alright, you can have some charcoal. And we're away. A little bit of wasted space in the middle here. We can pop in one there and one there. It needs a power pole, so we'll put that power pole there. Alright. Okay. We got there in the end. These guys can get powered from there. Voila. So we now have some landfill production. We have all this upgraded to our new ore crushers, and we are producing very little of anything. So the issue here is this crushed rock. We need to get more crushed stone. We need 10 a second, which would mean we would need 5 slag a second, which if we were just basing it off this, we would need 5 more of these. And as you can tell, that's way too much, isn't it? Our charcoal stores are getting depleted. Our charcoal stores are being depleted. All right. Let's get some of these back up and running. We actually have a lot of them now that aren't installed, and that is costing us. That is costing us a fair bit. All right. And another one in there that has no power. Can't actually power that one. That's unfortunate. All right, we can pop another couple down here. I think we're good. All right. Okay. So next step is washing, and washing is almost complete. Oh my goodness, almost complete. Give me some more of that. There you go. You can just go straight in there. You actually have enough. It is... What are we? We're burning 15 seconds, and these are made... where is the crafting time? There's 7.5 seconds. No, 5 seconds. We can actually support more labs. All right, let's do that, because science is... labs. Where would I find you? Labs should be here. Nope. In science, there we go. All right. Labs. Now, yes, I can support another lab, but do we have enough copper? Probably not enough copper to actually support another lab. So maybe this is a waste. Let's cancel that Actually, it's too late. It's too late now to cancel that because we already made those lab construction pieces, which I'm pretty sure aren't going to go anywhere else. So let's pop this down here. There we go. And you can go there like that. And now we just need a whole bunch of copper. But to get a whole bunch of copper, we need a whole bunch of landfill. So let's have a look at the washing. Water treatment. All right. So let's get a Seafloor Pump. That's the first step on the washing cycle. And one washing plant. And you know, sadly, this area here is going to be it's going to be used. We're going to have to rip a bunch more of these up and go back to our charcoaly ways. All right. I think just one kind of width from memory. This should be wide enough. So another washing plant. I just built it. I guess I needed it. We might have to build it one in. Let's see what we need. All right. So Seafloor Pump. Let's pop you down first. And you are outputting mud water. All right. So what can mud water be used for? This uses viscous mud water, heavy mud water, concentrated, light, thin. Is viscous. Is viscous what we're getting from this? Let's pop a pipe down and just see. Because it just said mud water. It is viscous mud water. So if we turn viscous mud water into heavy mud water, we're also getting hydrogen sulfide, which we can burn that off. And hopefully we can find a use for it. It's probably hydrogen sulfide, maybe sulfuric acid at some point. But if we do this at least, viscous mud water and regular water. Okay. So we do need another offshore pump. Well, I mean, we could probably just get away with what am I saying? We probably could have gotten away with. I'm actually going to bank this 2 out, linking up to our other one, but that's all right. All right. I'm putting it there because I'm pretty sure we need water for the other washing stages as well, so we'll be able to do that. All right. So first things first, we need a flare stack. We don't have any flare stacks. Petrochem maybe, water treatment, petrochem. Yeah, flare stack. There we go. All right. So we'll do this. We'll burn it. Yeah, I mean we could tank it. We don't have any way to limit. Do we have overflow? Is that something that I remember? Overflow valves. Valve. Yeah, these guys. All right. Overflow valve is fluid control, and fluid control is what's that? 20 and 20. All right. I'm getting ahead of myself, but fluid control is very, very useful. It allows you to amass some of these byproducts rather than just burning them off straight away, which is hugely inefficient. All right. So let's rip this one out. And we forgot one important thing, which is an inserter here. Taking the mud. All right. Where are we going to take this mud to? Well, we're going to get a fair bit of mud, so we're going to take the mud to there. These flare stacks are really big and really get in the way. So if we put this second one here, like this, and pump into you, so you're making heavy mud water. So we'll get you to turn heavy mud water into concentrated mud water. There we go. All right. And again, you need water. So this is where this comes into it. We do that. We get some of these, and we're starting to run a little bit low on pipe too. We've got to watch out for that. And you're outputting Just the concentrated mud water. Nothing to burn off here. Nothing to burn off here, folks. Nothing to burn off here. And for the moment, we're going to clarify that. We are out of fuel. We are out of fuel. All right. This is a bit of a problem. But the wind turbines will keep things going while we wait. All right. We do have a clarifier already. Oh well, it's time for everything to disappear. All right. Clarify straight away. So now we have some more mud to work with. Let's power these all up. There we go. Okay, you're working and you're working, and we're getting some mud. All right. So this mud we are going to turn into. We need another belt. One more belt. There we go. This mud we will turn into like this. Okay. So you, my friend, are making dirt, I think it was. Where's dirt? Here we go. Water treatment. Turn that off. 25 mud, dry dirt or regular dirt? What about grass? I like it. Let's make some grass. It'll really brighten things up. It's all the same. All right. So you need to not drop off there. You need to pick up from there. And we're away. So this requires 25 mud, which is a fair bit of mud. You're producing... okay, so on average, you produce 1.5 mud. No, the average is actually... 2. It's either 0, 1, 2, or 3. Yeah. So 1.5 is the average. I was right. Don't second guess yourself. 1.5 mud every 5 seconds. And then this one is producing... no, hang on. Which one was I looking at? Or are they both the same? They're both the same. So we're producing 3 mud every 5 seconds. This is going to be a slow process for landfill, that's for sure. We do have one landfill already, though. Let's pop that in a box. So, what is the end chain of this, by the way? So our viscous mud goes to heavy mud. Our heavy mud goes to concentrated mud. Our concentrated mud goes to light mud. And light mud goes to thin mud water, and thin mud water goes to saline water. Alright. We were using saline water. Was that the green algae? The brown algae? Did it need saline water? I think that's what it was. Alright. Brown algae. Yeah, saline water. So you could then complete this loop into some brown algae. We've kind of got enough brown algae. I've actually got like just tons of it in my inventory. We don't have much green algae though. What's going on with you? Are we under power? We are under power because we're out of fuel again. All right, this is a problem. This is a problem. We're no longer producing as much as we are using. Let's have a look at our sort of 10-minute. Yeah, the electrolyzers. Whoa, they're going full ball, and they're using a lot of energy. The algae itself is okay, but we need these electrolyzers going because they're the only source of science. It's a tough little world to be in. What I've totally forgotten about, of course, is the handcrafting of wood pellets. I think we spent a lot of time doing all this setup, and we could have been handcrafting some pellets. our actual available output is also very low. Very, very low. All right. So I think we need to ramp up. We need to ramp up this algae production, and possibly shut down some electrolyzers in the short term. So I think they're using too much power, and like, while we do need the materials for science, we need to get our power sorted. I'll leave one going because we do also want to make some landfill. Unfortunately, this grass is a separate block of landfill. So let's pop you back in there. Let's pop you back in there so you're not holding up our inventory. Yeah, this is in a sad state of affairs due to the lack of slag, and we are at 30 minutes. So we have some production here. This only uses 30 kilowatts, so clarifier's fine, but these are 100 kilowatts each. Alright, production is slow. It is very, very slow. What do we get? Another 20 charcoal. Let's pop that in there. We'll see. Yeah, we are using we're up from a third to almost over half. So we definitely need more of these little algae guys. Let's can all of those. Pop you in there. Let's get these wood pellets into there. That'll speed that up a little bit. And you've actually got a whole heap of charcoal just sitting in you, which is probably more than you ever need. All right. Now things are stabilizing. And we have 150 sand, which we're going to have to use to put in a few more algae farms. I'm going to put in 2 more algae farms, and then that'll hit that magic three algae farms to support enough algae for our cellulose fiber. I think what we need to do is, I was going to say we need to disconnect this so we're not using any green algae for paper, but then we're going to back up in brown algae, and this is the only use for brown algae, if I remember correctly, that we have access to. Alginic acid, yeah. These, oh man, it'd be nice to get into fish. This was one of the things that I waited too late to do. But as you can see, the research to get there is extensive. It's extensive. The other thing we could also be pushing for is greenhouses. And greenhouses, I didn't actually use them in the Bob's Angel series because from what I read, they're actually a little bit too powerful. I saw them in the fish chain. Is that it? No, that's Electrochem Lab. Maybe I didn't enable Bob's greenhouses in the end. How could we see that? Mod settings. Bob's inserters, assemblers, enemies, logistics, metals, mining, ore, power, revamp, tech, warfare. Yeah, maybe there's no greenhouses in this mod pack, which, to be fair, they do get a little bit easy. They do take up a lot of space though, which is a downfall when it comes to Seablock. So, all right, we want to set this all up next episode. I'm just going to leave this run, I don't know, probably for 10-15 minutes or something. We'll get a little bit more landfill. Basically, just while I upload this video and get all that sorted, I'll just have this running in the background, and that will. Well, we actually just got near inserters too. So maybe I'll pause it and we'll pick up from here next episode. We'll see how we go. If we need to pause halfway through next episode to build up enough landfill to put down some more algae farms, we'll just do that. That's okay. But if you haven't played around with the inserter configurations, you're in for a treat next episode. So all that's left is to give a huge thank you to my patrons. And as I said at the start, massive thank you to Laruko for joining. And you now added to the list enough that I had to start scrolling it. But, I think that looks pretty fancy. Makes it look like I've got a lot more supporters than I do. There's only 4. It just keeps repeating. Makes me feel good, though. Makes me feel great. And that's, just a huge thanks to everyone who's supported me. Anyone who leaves comments, subscribed, all you guys, you're the reason why I do this. It sounds a bit sappy, but hey, there it is. And the other important fact is, see you tomorrow.